manifestation box. A box that becomes a living spell where a living spell dwells for things you wish to manifest into your life. It is a living spell, an interactive spell that you work with until the one thing or all of the little things you want to manifest comes true. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Grove. I am Willow, and this is my manifestation box. This box was begun. I began this box in January of 2021. And I worked it every day, increasing and feeding the energy until July of 2021, when we made the decision that we was moving to Florida. And then this box went up on a shelf. And it's only until recently I started thinking about it again. And I decided I'm ready to work with it again. But I still want to manifest its original intention. So I'm revamping it. So in 2020, my husband and I went on a vacation with my oldest son and his, at the time, wife to Louisiana. And we went and spent a couple of days in New Orleans. And the things that we done along the way, like swamping and riverboating and going to the French Quarter, all of those things were so wonderful. It was fabulous that I decided, me and my husband talked about it. It was one of the best vacations we ever had, and we want to go back. So at the time we lived in Ohio, and I was manifesting for us to go back because it is a rather expensive vacation week. So that's the box, and now I want to redo it. So I'm going to take inside the box, this says, you can see how old this is. And it says, what this box contains is what it is. And I have a very large bay leaf and some other trinkets. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take all these items out, and then we will go through them as I add them back in. And my reason for adding them, and there's a lot here. Yeah, there is a lot to this little box. Like I said, I was working it daily until we we decided we was moving to Florida, and that's where my energy had to shift. So just let me, goodness, we'll go over all that. So this is, sounds like, oh, it's the latch. So this is my box. The first thing I want to do is I want to treat this box with my money powder to charge it and revamp it. So I have my money powder here, and I have my powder brush, and I'm going to take it and I'm just going to dust it all over. I want to cover this in money powder. So that's what I'm doing. I'm dusting it all in money powder. Don't want to forget the top two. Symbolic here, I guess. But I am getting, yeah, there, beautiful. I think I want to go ahead and do all the way around it. Don't ever let your money box turn upside down, because then it's all going to fall out. Your manifestation box. And I'll do the top when I close it. Okay. So here we go. This is my manifestation box. Let me move that powder over. I don't want to dump it. And so this was for another trip to New Orleans, to not only Louisiana, because the last time it was to Louisiana. We stayed in Alberta Springs, and then we went and just traveled over different places. But this time, I want to go to New Orleans and I'll spend the time in New Orleans. So I have gathered pictures of such. And the pictures that I have gathered is the French Quarter, some of the shops we stopped at, riverboat cruise, where I greeted every morning with morning altar, where we went to the Gulf of America. I just corrected that one actually when I got looking through the box. This was the dragonfly that I greeted me one morning when I was setting altar. So big, I've never seen one so big. And it landed on the chair right across from me and allowed me to get this picture. And dragonflies were always my favorite for inspiration. So definitely. This is where we went swamping on that boat. This is me and my husband at the Gulf of America. This is where we went into, when we went swamping, they had this huge, downright huge um, alligator. My husband and I again. This is us on that riverboat. When we went to Reverend Zombie's voodoo shop, Marie Laveau's shop. When we went to her gravesite. And the, I don't know how to pronounce that, the Fleur de Lis. And we're putting that in there to represent. So I got this when we went swamping, so definitely I want to do that again. I got some shells to represent shell casting the ancestors for voodoo magic. A seashell to represent the Gulf. This is like a fancy where we heard the street band and they had tassels and things hanging. So that's what that puts me in the mind of. This is kind of like a wedding ring because this was me and my husband, and I chose pink because we got to spend a lot of time just together there. I added a stone starfish, so it's solid written in stone that we will get to go back and see the Gulf down there again. Remember, at the time I originally created this, I didn't know I was moving to Florida and I would be on the Gulf Coast. But, and in here I have stones for, I have quartz to manifest and to amplify. I have rose quartz for me and him. And then I also have a lapis for the peace. So that is for the qualities I want to bring in. And then I have, uh-oh, did this fall apart? This one may have to be redone. I think I'm going to have to redo this one. It fell apart, but I will. I'll redo it later. But this is a hoodoo cross made of coffin nails to protect and bless our journey, or safe journey. I added pinnacle because the pinnacle for me means completion. Pyrite for prosperity. A ruby a ruby and zoisite point. Again, that is for my husband and I. A piece of candy I got when we were there, and it was for the sweetness, so we may experience the sweetness of the city. This here is my petition to go back and all of the things we want to do, such as swamping and the riverboat, and he had blacking alligator and catfish, and I tried jambalaya, and everything was just so wonderful. So we want to go back for that. Here was what, three golden coins. I started it off with $3 I started the box off with for the money and the prosperity to come in. And then I added a heart. This heart was for me and him. There is a lot of me and him in here. I added this little gold key to open doors for which we knocked and lock doors for which we did not. so we could just have a wonderful trip, but an uneventful, worrisome trip. No worries. An I Ching for good fortune. And I didn't add all these all at once. I added a few. I added the pictures and a few things like the alligator foot and the shells that we got there. I added those and a piece of candy. The rest, I would add something daily if I just shook it daily, gave it a little shake, to revise energy. But all this money, look at some of this money. Look how disgusting this money is. You see, you see all that? Isn't that nasty? That is found money. Look at this quarter. I don't even know how old that quarter is. It's a bicentennial quarter, so it's not that old, but look how nasty it is. And this is money I found. There's a real copper penny. Money I found money. And I'd bring it home. And when I would find one, I'd walk straight up and I'd drop it in here and shake it because this is windfall money. And I was manifesting windfall money that we could take the trip with, that money would come in for some reason or another and we would be able to take our trip. So I'm going to place all this in here and I would just come in. And one day I placed a quartz point, and the quartz point was for to amplify all the energies and to harmonize them. I placed my bay leaf that has my original intention written on it. It was an ink pen, but it faded out, so I went back over it in marker. And I want to put that in here as well. I don't want it to break up. And then another day I found just a little quartz chip, and I brought that home. I found it on the floor of my store that I had in Ohio, and I brought that home and put it in there. And then more found money. I would find money at flea markets and in grocery stores and quarters in abandoned carts at Aldi's. I'd bring it all home. Like I said before, I would dive bomb a parking lot to get that penny to take home and put in my box, or at the time, my money bowl. But this is my manifestation box for New Orleans. And I'll close it up and I'll give it a shake. New Orleans is where I long to be. New Orleans is where we shall be. And I'm going to put this out where I can easily get to it. And if I don't even have something to add on that day, I will shake it. Just shake it to get that energy going. Or I might take a little bit of just my money powder and just go over it that day as such. See that? Never drop your box. Never turn your box upside down, because your luck, your money, your manifestation may run out. And now I am going to take my prosperity oil. Just going to take a little bitty drop. That done it. And I'm just going to touch it. I think I'll do more than that. There we go. Yeah. And I'm just going to touch the four corners and the center. I need to add something new. So I think this time I'm going to add a cinnamon stick. And, wait a minute. So I have a dollar bill that I put the backward 4 on, so it comes back into me. And I'm going to, as I did before, turn it over, fold the head towards me for wisdom and money wise. I'm going to turn it to the right to bring in. I'm going to add a couple of pieces of my green money rice, because it's hoodoo rice, money rice. I'm going to New Orleans. And now I'm going to start this as a Yeah, like I'm folding down the flag or those footballs we used to play with in school. Towards me, manifesting the funds and the ability for us to go. I'm going to pick it up, turn it, fold this one down and towards me, and then I'm going to take this and tuck it in here, like this, right towards me. There we go. Haha, and that's the new one I'm adding. There it is. So I added cinnamon for abundance and to speed it up, and $1 for money to return and grow and prosper. There it is. My manifestation box is ready. Once in a while, I may just anoint it with my great prosperity oil and my money powder to keep it anointed, to keep it alive, and I will shake it daily. And we'll see how long this takes to manifest. Hey, thank you for joining me. And if you will, please like, subscribe, comment, and share, and notify on my video. No matter where you are, what you're going through, hold on. There's a brand new day, and we all get to begin again. Thank you for joining me within the Grove. And with that being said, with much love and gratitude, stay forever magical, my friends, and blessed be.